not friendly right now, right?
Huh?
You're not friendly right now.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Man.
Thank you.
Yeah. What?
Canada sıcak hali.
Terry Fox, as already said, ran across Canada, tried to, did not make it. He did not finish it. Cancer entered his lungs, he died less than a year later, making it 3,339 miles across Canada in 143 days. Since that time, 45 years, Terry Fox Run. It's a 5K fun run. It's free to enter. We can register you right now. It's non-competitive, so you won't have your times listed on the internet. And it's family friendly. And what we do is we raise money for cancer research so we can finish cancer. Everyone up for that?
So, is this a new thing to the UK, or what's the situation? Has anybody here done a Terry Fox walk or run in London?
Well, that's a very good question, Erica. Thank you. London was one of the OG runs. In 1981, we had a run in London. It stopped in 2007 because the government stopped running it, the Four Seasons didn't do it, and it took a group of dedicated volunteers that you can see in front of you to bring this back to London 5 years ago. So we are going to have 1,500 people in Battersea Park on September 14th. We've raised more money in 5 years than London raised in the 39 years before we got involved. We raised $500,000 in the last 5 years, and our goal is £1 million, $1.8 million in the next 5 years, and we need your help. And all the money we raise in the UK stays in the UK for the best UK Cancer Research Institute. It's called the Institute of Cancer Research.
So if you would like to participate or learn more, there's a booth right over there which is facing us. If you turn around, you'll see Terry Fox Run UK. You can sign up there, you can ask questions, you can tell your friends, and you do the walk with your family, and you're raising money for cancer research. The money stays here in London, and of course in Canada, it's going to be crazy. Every city in Canada has their version of the Terry Fox Run. Thank you so much for coming here and being here and initiating this, not just for the people that are here, but for everybody around London, or around the UK, who should be starting their own run. So get on that. Get on that. Okay, stay with me, because I've been telling everybody that today we are taking you across the country. So far, I took you to Newfoundland and Labrador, right? Then I took you to Toronto, onto Queen Street, Hipsterville, and now I want to take you to Cape Breton. Has anybody been in Cape Breton here? Really? Look at that, it's this big. And you were there. Okay, well this band is really indicative of your music. It's very traditional and interestingly, borrows the music here in the UK, which shows a deep connection between Canada and England. The band is called Beyond, and we're there for you in Trafalgar Square to celebrate Canada Day.
They're like the police in Canada, like that's how their uniform. Yeah. Thank you. It's rather grandfather or family.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much. You guys are like tough as nails to be standing out there in the sun. It's crazy. It's crazy warm. We figured we'd be coming over to something a little cooler, maybe a little more damp, but that's okay. We're loving it. We're loving the sun here. We are really excited. There's probably a few folks that we know out here. I know there was a Liam from over here. We got a request to say hello to you, Liam, from your gal back home in Cape Breton. And there's a fella, yeah, that's right, they're gonna be married. They are engaged, pretty sure. Hope I didn't get that wrong, Liam, because if I did, you better ask, buddy. And then somebody else that we met up in Orkney this year, Andrew. I'm not sure if you're here, but just a little hello to you as well. And yeah, and Amy as well. Okay, here we are. Anybody else want to say hello to anybody? Oh, hello. How's she going? Good, good. So, who hasn't been to Cape Breton then? Who has not been to Cape Breton? Hands up. What the heck's wrong with you? Come on over. We've got a great festival in the October season, the fall. It's called Celtic Colors, and there's a lot of amazing acts. It runs for 9 days. It starts on our Thanksgiving weekend. So if you have a hankering for a trip in October, come on over. It'd be great to have you. We're going to play a couple of tunes now. We've kind of mishmashed them together. There's an amazing pipe tune called Gypsy Dance. And then we're going to go into a Cape Breton composed tune by a fellow who, no lie, wrote more than 40,000 pieces of music. Now, you think I'm... To if you want the records. Listen to me. How old am I? Anyway, enjoy this next set of tunes, everyone.
so much. How's everybody doing? Woo!
Good.
How many Canadians are in the audience? Well, that's great. Thanks for coming. We're so thrilled to be here. This is just such an important day here in London doing this show, and we're so happy to be part of this stellar lineup of incredible bands. Did you catch some of the music earlier? Yeah, so great, and there's so much more to come up, so stick around. Maybe the sun will stay behind a cloud and help us all out. God help me with a linen dress on. Bad choice. Well, we're great choice. Trying to represent. We got our red and white on up here. Woo! Well, like you were told there, we are from Cape Breton Island, and we are of Scottish descent many years before, and Maddie's direct, her mom was from Scotland, so we play this music that came with those ancestors, those descendants, and they kept this music really, really well preserved in Cape Breton, and we have been fortunate enough to learn from the players before us, sitting with them and learning from them, and so we're going to give you a whole bunch of tunes, maybe a little bit of dancing today, and we want you to have fun and dance, all right?
Okay, great. Do me a favor. Can you yell out the names of someone that you would consider a Canadian hero? What did you say?
Yeah.
Simple Plan? Okay. Mischievous Heroes? Yep. Erica M. Good answer. Like you?
Yeah.
Who? Chris Hadfield. Celine Dion, Heroes, Canadian Heroes. Say again? Terry Fox, absolutely, Terry Fox. Avril Lavigne, any other? Say who else? Nickelback. That's controversial. Who? Nickelback is true. Who else? Any other heroes? Who? Wayne Gretzky. Hockey. Have you been up there to the big hockey? Gord Downie. I was waiting for someone to say that since we were just playing some hip. Obviously, you're Canadian. Exactly. Louis Riel. Yes, you are. I could tell. So, if I were to say the name Terry Fox to you, would that mean anything to you? It wasn't very loud. See, if I was in Canada right now and I said the word Terry Fox, it would be an explosion of cheering and jumping up and down and people wiping tears from their eyes. So let me try that again. If I were to say the word or the name, Terry Fox. Terry Fox is everything that I believe Canada is. He is a true hero. He was kind. He was tenacious. He believed in doing something to help other people. Terry Fox died from cancer years ago, but he did essentially 44 marathons. So for 44 days, walking, pardon me? 144, thank you. Walking, hopefully he was trying to get across the entire country to raise money. And he inspired millions of Canadians.
There's no Oh, you want to try? Trust me, you can miss.
Let's go.
See what it is.
I'm going to say that the connection is with all of us. All Canadians have a connection to Terry Fox, but none greater than my team of volunteers that are scattered throughout here, that are the best team of volunteers ever. Thank you guys, thank you. We have 5 runs across the UK. We have 3 t-shirts, and we are doing runs in September 14th. We have
feeling good now? Well, we have one more number for you, but before we do, we want to thank the NAC for putting this all together. John and the team here at Canada Day London, I can't imagine the amount of work that went into this. This doesn't happen overnight. It's months and months and months and months of planning. And how about a big round of applause to the sound techs? These guys are working so hard. They do this job, so thank you guys so much. I guess I'll introduce the band. Over here, on the pipes and the guitar, all the way from St. Peter's, Cape Breton, Matthew McIsaac. And over here with his brand new tie from Marks and Spencer's, all the way from Troy, Mr. Mac Moran. And the lovely lady in linen here, all the way from Craignish, Wendy McIsaac. She's such a lady. My name is Maddie Rankin. I'm from Mabou, Cape Breton, and together we are Viola. And they were asking what our name actually means. So it's Scottish Gaelic, and we formed 25 years ago as a band. And Viola means lively youth. And we're pushing that pretty hard today, but yeah, we'll stick with it. We'll be young forever. All right, thank you guys so much. We're going to leave you with a little bit of dancing. We want to see you dancing, and stay hydrated and have a great rest of your Canada Day Festival here. Thank you so much.
a couple of seconds. I know that it's really important for you to keep this music alive, traditional music. Why is it so important to you?
Well, you know, the first immigrants that came from Scotland, the descendants who came, they landed 251 years ago, is that right, Maddie? And for that amount of time, this tradition was kept alive, and so we really need to keep it going because it's part of our heartbeat in Cape Breton and Nova Scotia.
So where do you find the inspiration for your new music? Because you're pulling from the old, but then you are making your own new music. So where do you get the inspiration?
Well, if you came to a dance, has anybody here been to a dance in Cape Breton? So you know that it's mostly just a fiddle player and a piano player, and we just play like 160, 180 tunes a night, for real. But to play for an audience outside of Cape Breton, we like to, Mac Moran over there loves pop music. Bring Katy Perry to Mac. So honestly, we like to take a little bit from all the styles of music that we like and incorporate a bit, you know, adding a bit. Here's some big thumps down there. That was Mac playing the song, but we just like to have a little fun with it. But if you stripped it all away, you would hear exactly what you would hear at those dances.
So the last thing I want to ask you is your music is really experimental. So what kind of stories are you telling?
Our building, like. You can settle in, you know, do your own thing.
You're literally
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, small areas, you tend to have a few relatives. I have almost 70 cousins on my dad's side. So, you know, you tend to be related to a few people from your areas. Yeah, I'm related, first cousin to Ashton Kaiser, who's some people I've heard of before. Yeah, amazing fiddle player. And then Maddie right there is first cousin to the Rankin family, and they are like one of the ones that set the trail for this type of music to be brought outside of Nova Scotia, outside of Canada, worldwide. They did amazing, and we have a few words from them.
All right, roll the tape. I'd love you to meet Ginny and Heather Rankin.
Air Canada.
And from Nova Scotia, East Coast Canada,
the true north, strong and free.
We are wishing you a very, very
happy Canada Day.
Let's go. It's all.
The happiest place in Canada to live, work, and play.
A nebo už se ti zvýšila taková ta tolerance?
Trafalgar Square, how's it going?